When doing lesson planning, make sure that you have Brightwell and Learning Beyond Paper up. So we are starting with making sure that we know which classroom we're going to be working with. If you look right there, there's infants, younger toddlers, older toddlers, preschool, and pre-K. You can decide which one is best for your class. Once I've selected, so I'm working with the older toddlers, I'm going to go over to Lesson Plans and go ahead and click on that. You can select the number that you want to start with and decide what lesson plan you want to go to. So there is 5 different days, and I want to just make sure to let you know that you don't have to do day one on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. You can decide which activities you want to use. So there's STEM, language literacy, physical development, music, and movement as well. If you want to see what the detail is, then you just click on the actual subject. So we're going to be clicking on STEM, and it brings it up to this. Now, again, at the top, you can decide what week you're on and which day now, because we've gone into the different days. There's also the tabs up at the top. There's STEM, the language and literacy, physical development, and music and movement. I decided I wanted to start with music and movement. This is really such a cool website because it's going to tell you the objective, materials that you need, the name of the activity, all the things that you need to put up on Brightwell. As you can see, it's going to be pots and pans, really simple activities as well. Now, the procedures and teacher talk is one of my favorites because it's going to actually tell you how to talk to your age group. And it is going to help you be a better teacher. So that is just for you to look at. Now at the bottom, there's a learning support and social and emotional development. This is going to talk to you about maybe different issues that you're going to come across with this and how to handle it, which is super cool. Then at the very bottom, you're going to see an at-home connections. Go ahead and click on that. This is actually meant for parents, and this is where you're going to get your content to add over to Brightwell for the lesson planning. So you have to click on this again, and it's going to open up a new screen. Once you do that, you have the ability to actually select and copy each lesson plan. If you don't double click on it and you don't see it big like this, it won't let you copy it. So it's really important that you're doing this. It will make it a lot easier when you are going into Brightwell to lesson plan. So you can go back to your materials, your information, and you can go on to the next activity. Again, there's STEM, language, there is music and movement. And again, you can look through this and see, okay, how am I going to do this lesson? On the Learning Beyond Paper, this is for you guys. Parents are not necessarily seeing this. Okay, so now I'm going to move over to Brightwell. So you have to do this on a computer or an iPad. Make sure that you are logged in, and you're going to go over to the learning icon. And you might see a few things on there that are showing on mine, but not on yours, but just make sure you're on learning. Then you're going to go over to create a room plan and create your own, not select from existing. And you're going to make sure that you're going to name your lesson plan. So I'm going with the music and movement from the Learning Beyond paper that I selected. And I put the class that I'm working with. Now, I suggest you put the date of when you're doing this lesson plan and the year, because over the years it's going to get lost. So the more detail you add, the better. So then it pops up. There's the music and movement with ants that I put in there. And then I put March 24th for my theme. Now, the first thing you need to do is assign it to a room. So whatever your room you are over, so we're working with the ants right now because they're older toddlers. So I'm going to click on the ants. And then you also want to select the week that you're going to be doing this so that, again, you are staying organized because later you're going to be sharing with parents as well. So I decided to pick the 24th in March and we're going to view. Again, click on just ants. You don't need to click on all rooms because we're only working with that class. So now it's showing the 25th, 6th, 7th, 28th, and 29th. Okay, remember again that you need to make sure that all three of these are filled out. And then when you are completely done with this, please, please, please make sure that you are clicking on this little button that says share with parents. If you do not click on that, it will not appear on their phones or your phones for that matter, and they will say, what kind of activity is going on? I can't see anything. Okay? Your daily topic is where you're going to input the music and movement or STEM, and then you're going to paste the activity on there, which I'll show you in a little bit. So going back, if you notice, I'm going back and forth because I can get information from there. So STEM is one of the other subjects. I'm going to go in and write STEM and then add my activity after. I'm going back again to see. That's why it's so nice to have both windows open because I can go back and forth and type what I need on the daily. And you can just select it and it will bring it up and you can add the title and then description. We're going to save that and then you can continue on with the other days. Now right here you can actually click on that and add a section. So with preschool time we do circle time. So I'm saying circle time with Miss Jessica, and on here I'm going to decide what I'm going to do for circle time. The other thing we can do is add another section because I want to have a different section for materials. And I don't want to put it under my circle time. Parents will be seeing this and it's nice to be organized. And this is why I'm showing you in this way versus just having it all squished together in one thing. Okay, so there's another section. So that is how you add sections and then you want to name them so you can stay organized. This one is a completed one by the Butterflies class. And if you look, they have their different subjects for the week. And then they also have the tabs. So they have circle time, they have singing time, book of the week, and what that's going to look like, and then their materials. They have parent notes if they need that, and then just a note. Every week they do spotlights on Friday and they work on their journals. So the parents get to see that. It's amazing because they can see the work that you're doing. And we want them to see that. You're putting in a lot of work. So I'm going to go back over to my test one and I'm going to show you how to add within the section. So you can see there's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday on there. You want to click on section notes with a little pencil. If you click on the plus sign on each section, it won't work and it will take a lot longer. So I'm deciding that for circle time and think about what you do for circle time with them. We sing the ABCs, so I'm writing that down. And we do a puppet show on teaching how to share because that age group is still learning how to share. Now, how do I make this faster so I'm not having to type everything in? I'm going to go in there and I'm going to copy it. And the next day I'm going to just paste because every day for circle time, I do the same thing. I do the song and I do my puppet show. Maybe you change it up. So you can definitely write other things on there, but it is nice to know that, hey, for circle time, this is what we always do. And then it's going to show up right there, which is really nice. And you know what you're doing. Also, when people are subbing for you, they can look on there and see, oh, for circle time, they sing the ABCs and they do a puppet show. Now on here, I'm going to add the book of the week and the song of the week. So notice that I'm working on the little pencil and I'm not touching anything to do with the plus sign. So I'm back to Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. And I'm deciding that the book is Are You My Mother by Dr. Seuss. And the song, we're doing Five Little Ducks. And that's what I've decided to do for the week. And you just do it every day because we want to create consistency. But if you look at it, it looks nice and organized. I'm copying again and I'm going to paste it onto Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. So now we see that it's right there, which is so nice. And I'm going to add a little note to parents to say every day we practice sharing by sitting in a circle and taking turns or saying, it's my friend's turn. Then handing them the item to our friends. So that's a parent note that I know every day we're going to work on anyways, and it's really nice. If you look at theirs again, they have each day is their different subjects, but then they have their circle time, they have their singing and book time, and then there's that added note again to the parents. Okay, so now let's work on the music and movement and actually adding the content. Now you remember going into the Learning Beyond paper, we're working on the pots and pans, but I don't want to write all of that or have to like type it over. So remember to go to that at home connections, double click on it, and then we're going to copy and paste the music and movement section. I'm going to go back over to my Brightwell and I'm just going to click on that and make sure you're clicking on edit or it won't work, and then paste. So now I have my music and movement activity all ready to go, and it's phrased in a way that is pleasing to parents. So you're not kind of nervous like, oh, am I saying it right? So now I'm going to go over to STEM. Remember the tabs up at the top? We're going to go all the way to the bottom. I also wanted to mention that you can see what the materials are and also add that onto Brightwell. You cannot copy and paste, it won't let you. So, but materials I feel like are a little bit easier. And I wanted to show you, since we've been doing the pots and pans, what I'm going to need. Metal pots, pans, and spoons. So I'm going to write on there materials needed. If you look at the top, it says materials needed notes. So I'm going to put what I need for that. If I can't remember everything, I'm going to click back over to my Learning Beyond paper, see if there's any other materials, which there wasn't. And then I'm going to back and forth, back and forth. You want both of those tabs open so that you can easily see the information. So I have saved what materials I'm going to need. And then don't forget to message Bethany once you're done for the week what materials you're going to need so she can help you find them. And then I'm going to go over to my music and movement. Oh, we're now over to STEM. Sorry, I keep jumping around. So we're going to go over to STEM. We're going to copy that because that is the next day that I'm working on. And then I'm going to click on it, edit, and then paste. So now I have my STEM activity all ready to go. You're going to want to review each one of these on the Learning Beyond paper so that you know what you're actually doing. So please make sure that you're looking through all of the information so you know exactly what materials you're going to need, how you're going to talk to the children. This is teaching you a lot, and it's such a great tool. So just a reminder that you can select between the different days, and you don't have to stick to just one activity. You don't have to do STEM on Tuesdays. You can decide which day you're going to do STEM, And you can look through the different activities and see what your class needs and what sounds exciting for you to do with them. You don't have to stick to the first or second or third day. You can go in and just decide, I think I want to do this baking one. These are the materials I'm going to need. Look through the lesson plan, how you're going to talk to the children, and decide if that's a good fit for your class. So I want to give you that freedom to be able to decide what you want to do. I'm showing you again, once you've decided, click on the at home, click on it again, and then you can go in and copy and paste to your Brightwell. Okay, and then we're going to go again back over to our Brightwell app. Please make sure you have the assigned room, week, theme, and then please, 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 please share with parents. Because if they don't see it or we don't see it, then we see that you didn't do it. And we're going to ask you, hey, how come you didn't do lesson plans?